Southern allies now speaking up because they are being humiliated, says Uko. Founder, Igbo Youth Movement, and Secretary General of Eastern Consultative Assembly, Evangelist Elias Ugochukwu Uko, has said that the Southern group, which supported the emergence of President Muhammadu Buhari, have now begun to speak up against his administration's policies because they are being humiliated publicly by the president. Uko, who stated this in a statement made available to our correspondent on Friday, accused the government, accused the Buhari government of promoting a culture of lawlessness by its disobedience of court order and extrajudicial killings of particularly pro-Biafra agitators in the southeast geopolitical zone. According to him, it has now become obvious when the treatment meted out to Sowore Reporters publisher Omoyele Sowore by the Department of State Services that we do not have a country. In apparent reference to the Southwest Zone, which led the Southern All Progressives Congress (APC) alliance that brought Buhari to power, Uko said that the Southern group that supported the emergence of the president in 2015 out of envy and spite for the people of Eastern Nigeria have only succeeded in electing a government which now subjects them to constant public humiliation. He pointed out that over 50 years after the Biafra War, Nigeria has come to a stage where there is not much hope for the future. This, he said, is as a result of hypocrisy, nepotism, and fear of the truth by those who found themselves in control of governments. The unfortunate mistake consistently made by leaders of Nigeria and their friends is the quite infantile assumption that the younger generation do not know their hypocrisy, nepotism, parochial regional agendas, and their sickening paranoia and fear of the truth. They need to be told in very clear terms that the younger generation are conscious of these avoidable flaws and that they are deeply disappointed, he said. Half a century after the very intense fratricida bloodbath that threw up a very corrupt and inept political class, the world has noted that with disappointment the total absence of any positive outlook from any indices or parameters that could point to hope of any sort in the near future. Today, the leadership certain folks enthroned out of anger, envy, and other self-serving reasons have emerged both uncontrollable and insensitive, marching ferociously with a never-before-seen single-mindedness to only God knows where. Today, their southern partner and ally is deliberately being publicly humiliated in a manner to suggest someone wants to provoke a fight. Uko said the humiliated zone has, however, met secretly to vow that enough is enough over the continued detention of their son, Omoyele Sowore, for calling for a revolution. Today, a large chunk of the community of the humiliated zone have met secretly and vowed that enough is enough, he said. They are suddenly speaking up against the continued detention of their son over his demand for a revolution. One newspaper suddenly woke up to the fact that our leader is a general and should be addressed so. Even our respected Nobel laureate called the enforcers dogs. Quite interesting times we are in. We all need to be reminded that every adult Nigerian enjoyed the same great leadership style of our Messiah between 1984 and 1985. He couldn't have changed overnight. He has always been the same good old Messiah with the same world view over the years. His religious, cultural, regional values could not have suddenly changed. He is here for good for all of us to enjoy his unequaled leadership traits. 200 million Nigerians are thoroughly enjoying his great leadership skills. We are all very grateful to those who brought and enthroned him 4.5 years ago. Which brings us to the sickening hypocrisy and two-faced culture of our senior lawyers and so-called human rights and democracy warriors. As far as they are concerned, it was all right to march around singing boys and girls in a school compound in Aba and slaughter them. That was cool, as we didn't hear a whimper from our loquacious human rights lawyers. Protesters have been moved down in Onitsha, Port Harcourt, Oka, Asaba, Umahia, etc., including inside a church at Nkpo. Everybody kept mute, thereby approving and institutionalizing extrajudicial killings. Dozens of court orders have been disobeyed in the past 4.5 years. Thousands have been murdered by herdsmen within the same period. National Assembly residents of senior judges have been invaded. We accepted all these anomalies because of political convenience. Today, Southern ally of the government are finally discovering the courage to speak up, probably because they are weeded out from government like unwanted weed. Could be because they saw Ndigbo rally around their own son. Maybe whatever opened their eyes should also prick their conscience. As we wonder aloud, do we have a nation if we only react when our son is involved and play blind when Easterners are murdered extrajudicially? Do we have a country yet? It is very instructive that those who brought the Messiah only spoke up when they became victims. Very interesting time indeed. Everybody should be reminded that this hypocrisy and pretense to one country is actually the chief reason millions of Nigerians want out of the union. The hypocrisy and the pretense is sickening. So guys, that's the submission of this man Uko, and he has made his own points clear, and it's not different from what majority of people are saying. And in my opinion, like I've always said, that until we come together as a people before we will make progress. If not, and from his own angle, he's talking about, when some people are just, it's just matter of being selfish. If it is happening to me, yes, oh, everybody must rally around me. But when it's happening to others, I will just do as if, oh, it is not my business. It is their business. That is what we always say. It is their business. And those who are doing the wrong thing, they will continue doing it because they know that you are not united. They know that some people will still be on their side. So what is saying in general terms, that if something happens to one person and the thing is not proper, everybody must come together, most especially even with what is happening to Sowore. And I'm surprised that even the so-called Easterners, they are the ones even coming around. They are the ones even making attempts. They are the ones even if they can't even do much, but they say, no, this is not good, this is not fair. But if it were to be other people, they say, oh, that is their problem, let them continue, let them whatever, let them do whatever it is their problem. If we see bad thing and we don't condemn it, by the time it will come to us, it will be so difficult, because they will believe that you can't do much. That is just what this man Uko is talking about. Why is it that we cannot speak one language, we can't speak one voice on a matter that is really, really clear? No, because it is not my person, and that is what is killing us. Selfishness, greed. Like he said, the people are now talking and they are meeting secretly. That is what this man is saying. Maybe he got his information that people are really meeting to be able to, on how to be able to free Sowore from the government or the DSS detention. We need to speak up. We need to speak up. We need to speak up, because like people always say, if it is B today, it might be C tomorrow, it might be D tomorrow, it might be F tomorrow. If you think, oh, you are in your comfort zone, nothing is going to happen to you, but by the time it starts coming to you, who is going to stand for you? Who is going to speak for you? It's good to speak, when we see truth, but covering truth because you are gaining one thing or the other, by the time it comes to you, just like I said, who is going to stand for you? Because everybody will desert you. Everybody will do the same thing to you. And someone says here that, why are we complaining now? We were deceived that he was the best out of them all. Now, what are we seeing? Nothing but stupidity to the highest level from the useless man they claim he will savage our nation. Please, Southeast, South, Southwest and Middle Belt, we must raise up and stop these illiterate governments from destroying our great nation, or else posterity will judge us here and after if we fold our arms, seeing this good for nothing, doing this to us. Someone say, very sick in Nigeria as it is and operated shall not last. I wonder every time anyone says we are indivisible, entity. May God judge all those hypocrites who claim we are one Nigeria. May the suffering of the common, helpless, and downtrodden Nigerians be their children's portion. Nigeria would certainly collapse, and I want it to happen in my lifetime. That's what somebody's saying. You know, those who always come out and say, oh, one Nigeria, one Nigeria. They are benefiting from there. And these are the politicians, the political elite, those who are holding one position or the other, because they know what they are getting. They will tell you Nigeria is good. Nigeria is okay. We have to be together. They have to be together for their own selfish gain. But Nigeria should be together and continue to suffer. That's just the way it is. People who are suffering, definitely they will not believe in that one Nigeria. You are talking of one Nigeria, but you are enjoying. You are living in affluence. Why that same Nigeria, one Nigeria, people are dying day in, day out. So just like Uko has said that these people, Buhari Southern allies now speaking up because they are being humiliated. They should not speak up. They should continue. Whatever that is happening to A, it's going to happen to B. If they feel that, oh, they are immune from all this harassment here and there, let them not talk. Let them continue, in keeping quiet. So guys, leave your comments below in the comment section. Thank you very much. Bye.